Hello viewers, today we are looking at settlements and we'll be taking a closer look at Wyton in Hull. Over to you Tommy on location. Hi, I'm Tommy Robson reporting live from Wyton. Wyton means woman's farm in Old English and it is a hamlet created in the 17th century. The well-to-do of Hull used it as a country escape from the city. Wyton is 6 miles east of Hull. Back to you, Thomas, in the studio. Thanks for that, Tommy. Here's the census report for Wyton. In 2011, the population was 123 and there are 32 houses. There are no schools, pubs, post offices or even a public telephone. Without a doubt, that proves Wyton is a quiet hamlet. Now for some maps. As you can see, Wyton is a hamlet between Bilton and Sprotely. Let's take a look at agriculture. Wyton is a small farming hamlet with few houses. Over to you, Tommy, in the farmland. Thank you, Thomas. Today we will be joined by Farmer Tom, who will give us some information about Wyton's farmland. It's used for farming because of its rich soil and large open spaces. It has been this way for hundreds of years and it hasn't really changed that much. Lots of very old houses and farms. Anyway, I'm a very busy man and I have to go. Cheerio! Farmer Tom, what sort of animals are on this lovely farmland? Well, there are lots of horses here because the grass is good. Also, we keep lots of cows and bulls here too. There is so much space for them to roam. We have a whole field of free-range turkeys that we keep here for hatching to your Christmas dinner place. Farmer Tom, just before we go back to the studio, we would like to ask you what type of crops you grow here. These big tall yellow plants are rapeseed crops. The oil from this is what your mum uses to fry your food with. This here is wheat. This is what makes your cereals and bread. This field behind me is full of barley. Thank you for that, Farmer Tom. Now back to the studio in the Red House. Thank you for that wonderful interview, Tommy. Now we will be looking at Wyton's history and the houses in it. First we will be looking at some photos of the oldest houses in Wyton. As you can see on the screen, the first house we are going to look at is Wyton Abbey. Wyton Abbey was the original manor house built around the 1700s. Back then everything around it was farmland and they owned it all. Over the next century a number of big houses were built and the hamlet of Wyton began to form. The second house to be built was my house, the Red House, and is shown on the map in red. The next house to be built was the Red House. Luckily, our outdoor broadcaster, Tommy, lives there, so we can get some extra information about it from him. Tommy is going to give us a tour of the Red House and the interesting things that are there from history. I am going to take you around my house and show you some of the interesting old bits. That really is old. It was built in the 1730s. This is a very old boiler room that was used to heat the Victorian greenhouse in winter. The greenhouse was made of glass, so it isn't here anymore, but the boiler room stayed. At the bottom of my garden there is a very old barn that was home to many horses that pulled carriages before people had cars to travel in. I'll show you something else really old-fashioned. This is a really old well. People that used to live here collected their water from it. They didn't have taps like we have today. This is a really old coach house. It is where the family's carriage would have been kept, like we use a garage today. Do you see that tiny window up there? That's where the coach hand would sleep. And look out the window to check when he needed to take the horses to the barn. That's it from me. Back to you, Thomas, in the studio. Thank you for that wonderful history information. We would like to thank you for watching our programme about Wyton. That's it from us. Goodbye.